This Wednesday, August 18th, 11 a.m. Call this meeting to order. The first item on the agenda is the review of minutes of regular meeting of June 16th. Any questions?
No.
Have a motion to approve.
First motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed. Bill communications and review of warrants. Warrants of June and July be voted on separately.
I just want to let the board know too, as you can see, the amount we have in our checkbook has increased quite a bit in the last 2 months. And once you see this month's, it's very, very high. And the reason for that is DHCD gave us the money for the grant for the resident service coordinator up front. So they just deposited that into our account. They've also been depositing some other money that we have for construction, for the electrical. So you can see a lot of big deposits in the checkbook, but those are all the deposits that actually appear for, I'm sorry about.
Very small.
So all the
Yes.
So all the big deposits are like the 40,000, and you can see one for almost 87,000. Those are all the big deposits Department of Housing is putting up to our checkbook, so we can go ahead and pay the siding and everything else. So when you look at our balance, it's higher in these two, and it's even higher as this month. So the next month we'll see an even bigger increase in what our balance is.
So, while we were ready to the warrants for 2 months, June and July, we'll vote on the June first. Any questions on the June warrant?
No.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Have a look at the July one, please.
Motion to accept.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Director report.
Okay. The first item on my agenda is the AEP audit. So they finally finished it. They were a few months late because of COVID. But once again, we did really well. We did have some findings, like just little silly findings. And if you look through the report, it'll say where we found mistakes and where there was nothing. So we did have to answer for our little mistakes. So our first mistake was, and I didn't realize it back in May, and I fixed it, but it's already too late because it was from last year. We had fire code that comes out and fix our alarms, and we had to pay for something that a piece of equipment, and they charged us $12 in taxes. We don't have to pay taxes, so they found a receipt with the $12 in paying taxes. So I just let them know that that was an oversight, and that it has been corrected with fire code. They now have a tax certificate as of, I believe, May of this year. So that won't happen again with them. And our other one finding was, and they're going to try to fix it themselves, the Department of Housing, is every year we do a salary count for our top 5 salaries, and Mike's isn't broken down into what he gets paid regularly in his overtime. So that together made it look like he had made too much money. But the accountant firm wants to get together with DHCD to see if they can fix the maintenance line item so they can have a regular pay and overtime pay. So that won't affect our overall 3% budget. So that's the only other thing that we had on that. Everything else was, they didn't find any other findings of tenants, files, or anything else.
Good.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is Benton and Ewald. their contract once again is up. So I'm asking the board to renew their new contract from July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2022. And the amount of, the monthly management fee for both the Garfield Street and here is $684 for the year. And I just asked the board to approve that we can go ahead and.
Is that an increase over last year?
It is an increase, actually, I had it down, I think it's only like a $50 increase. Actually, I can tell you right now because,
So about 10%?
actually, you know what, it's only $20. It's going from $664 to $684.
Okay.
So it's a $20 increase, I think last year was the bigger increase.
Can I have a motion to approve the contract?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
So our next item on the agenda is a vote to approve the second electrical payment for the electrical project. Right now, we're kind of on hold, we're waiting for a change order to go through. I am going to ask the board if they can have a meeting next week because we have 3 things that we couldn't get on the agenda for today because the paperwork wasn't ready. But for next week, one of them being to approve the change order for the electrical project. So I guess what's happening, and I'm trying to understand the best I can because it's a lot I don't understand. So each building has a separate call box in it. And then we have one main call box unit here. And during the inspections, I guess the fire chief suggested, because those units have carbon monoxide detectors in it, if the carbon monoxide detector goes off, the fire department will be notified that it's actually a carbon monoxide detector and not a specific fire. So they're able to get it down to the science of why they're getting a call from the fire department. It wasn't originally set up that way, but they're trying to get it set up that way. So some of the wiring had to be a little bit different, and there is going to be a change order. I don't know how much, but today I'm just asking for the board to approve the second payment. They are almost done. He thinks maybe 3 more days and he'll be out of here, but he can't finish until he gets the change order approved for the additional money. So I just asked the board to approve a payment today of $20,363. It was approved by DHCD and the money was deposited into our checkbook, so it's just a wash. DHCD said it's okay. Sometimes they come out and look at the job to go ahead and pay him that first, that amount. First big amount was paid by the town, and the town actually, he did the work with the town to get the money. So the first payment has been paid. It didn't cost us anything because it was a CPA payment. So I just asked the board for approval to give him the check today.
I have a motion to approve that payment.
$363.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. All right. So the next item up on the agenda has come up a million times in the housing authority. And we recently had a tenant who took it upon themselves to hire a painting company to paint inside their apartment. And we actually found out by accident. So I asked the painting to be stopped until I talked to the board. I've talked to a couple of different housing authorities to see how they handle things. We don't usually go into an apartment and paint it until somebody moves out. We have had tenants that have been here for more than 10 years who ask if they can go ahead and paint their apartments or have somebody paint them. So talking to other housing authorities, what they do, and I kind of think it might be the way to go because we don't want our maintenance man in somebody's house painting because if they ruin the furniture, if they ruin, we have to go ahead and we have to pay for anything that's been ruined. So when talking to other people, I think I came up with, and you guys can add and subtract to whatever this policy could be, that if somebody is here 10 years and does want their walls painted, we can have a list of 3 colors. That means something very light. Unfortunately, one of the bathrooms were painted very dark, so it's more work for us when somebody moves out, because then my cast is going to double the work to get the dark off the wall to a lighter color. So my thought, and talk to other directors, was if they did want to hire somebody to come in and paint their apartment, that we would allow that with the stipulation that whoever they hire has a insurance policy. We have to have a certificate of insurance for anybody who works in their apartment before they got hurt. And then maybe we can pay for the paint, because we do keep paint here. I mean, I don't think that would be a problem if they wanted to do that. but it's up to the board. We've never had a painting policy here, but I've had 2 incidents where, I mean, somebody painted their cabinets and they're not supposed to, it says in their lease they're not supposed to, but they do it anyway. So at least this will make people happy because they do want to refresh their apartments, and in the past I've had 3 or 4 people say to me, I'll pay for it. I've had kids call and say, I'd like to do it for my mom for Christmas, can I have their house painted? And I have to say no because we've never allowed it before. So, I mean, I'm not against them having their house painted inside if they pay a professional that has insurance. So I'm putting that out there for the board because it's come up quite a few times in the last couple of years.
What's your pleasure?
I'm gonna ask Mike's opinion on that, since I just gotta go in and paint them out, but I mean, if we're painting units when tenants move out and when tenants move in, when the tenants get there, it's fresh. If it doesn't stay fresh, it's because they're not cleaning it and maintaining it, right? I mean, there's really no reason it should ever need paint.
But we do have a couple people that used to smoke that have been here for over 15 years and that don't smoke
See,
anymore.
that was my thing, because there's no
Yes.
smoking allowed, there's no,
Yes.
really,
Exactly.
Yeah, so, and it's most of those people. And the other thing, like I said, we have a list of colors they could use. And I think there should be a stipulation on there, like, you can do it, but you had to be here for over X amount of years. Because it is, like, I totally agree with you, but anytime somebody moves out, it's a law that we have to go and repaint the apartment anyway.
if there's an accident and they ding a wall, we should be able to patch it and paint it with the paint that we have,
We
because.
would supply it, yeah.
Right, and the way you would paint these things the same color.
That's what I would say, that it's
Exactly.
just one color, that's the only thing,
Yeah.
that it's
Yeah.
just one color, the color we choose. And
And we would supply the paint, they would just have to supply the labor.
And the paint is the same color, the white, off-white, white.
Yeah, we use like a pale oak color.
Yeah.
I would say then, yeah, I mean, that would be the only thing, the only way I would allow it is
Yeah,
with
I
my
agree.
paint, which is the same paint as we're putting on everyone else's. And,
Yeah.
again, like you say, if the painter has insurance, it's probably taken that they're at least somewhat, able to put paint on the wall, so.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, because if you need patch something for some reason, you get a little bit of brush and you patch.
Tenants with longer than 10 years stay. I mean,
That's what I mean, 5 or 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one thing besides the liability,
I think 5 soon, I mean, you could do 8 or something, but,
yeah,
I mean, usually that's kind of what you.
Yeah,
they
10 years, I
At
think.
least 7, 8 years before
Yeah.
you run. You
13 years to
don't want to
15
keep adding paint to walls either, because you don't want it thick. I mean,
Yeah.
we've got to clean up between units, but again, if it's the same color and the same whatever, we should be able to put one quick coat to clean it up, not 3 coats of primer and everything.
Well, that's why we want to stop it, because, and then the other thing being too is, in that policy, we need to do something, whereas if they do paint it, then there has to be some kind of, stipulation that, I don't know if it would be a fine, or because, I mean, like if somebody paints their bathroom dark gray, well, they shouldn't be painting it, number one. So that's a lease violation.
Well, I don't know if you gotta put in a policy, the policy should state no payment period without the director's consent. And then the director's consent should only come upon supplying them with the paint to use and getting, the certificate of
And
insurance.
they should be do by writing. Your consent will be by writing, not by mouth.
oh yeah.
Because if not, they will tell, I told her, and she told yes.
One more thing.
No.
Exactly.
The written consent.
Written
of the
consent,
director.
yes.
Yeah.
You don't need to come to us every time. You
Yes,
just need to-
exactly.
Oh, exactly, yeah. Because, well, once the policy's in place, then that, we'll just follow the policy. So, no painting is allowed at all. After 8 years with written consent, they can paint with the paint we supply.
So long as the painter is insured.
Yeah.
Michael, one of those?
Well, yeah, besides just the liability of me going in there and doing it, I mean, it's a question of, you have to move everything away from the walls, and then if I get a big project, a clog or something that goes on, I might not be back there for that day, so there's a day on it there.
Not to mention, you should be moving anybody's furniture.
But exactly, I should be moving
Yeah.
the furniture over there.
And I just want to verify, it's not going to be, I mean, it can't be their son, their daughter, it has to be somebody that has
painter with insurance.
insurance policy. And we need a copy of it before the work is complete,
Of course, because if throwing something, somebody need to pay
Yeah,
in our house.
yeah.
Son and daughter wants to do it, they can get a fan with insurance to sign off.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to read that with the policy on it?
Yeah, so no painting is allowed in apartments, unless after 8 years, and I'll write this up, better written consent that needs to be done by the office. Paint, we will supply the paint, and the painting must supply a certificate of insurance.
We need to vote on that. Second.
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Our outside gazebo status. Mike started working on taking down the top. Do you want to give status on that?
Yeah, I'm gonna plug away slowly, and we just had an apartment come up, so we can't get the inmates there. You know, I wanna try to get it laid out, keep going, but, I guess slow and steady will be the pace right now, until we, figure out what the apartment status is at. So I just wanted to say, hopefully this week I can get it all laid out, maybe some footing stuff. Go from there.
And next is the vinyl siding project. I have word that it's going to be starting August 23rd. Haven't heard anything different.
That's this Monday.
And that's this Monday. I'm going to verify actually before I leave today that that's when it is going to be started, but they are definitely going to start on the 23rd. And I'm not sure if I said it from the last meeting, but we were able to get, DHCD agreed to pay $6,000 more with our change order, but we were able to get this whole building added to it, which they were vinyl siding this building, and all the shutters on the brick and on the wood included. So it cost a little bit more, but we got a heck of a lot more back, yes.
And the garage too?
The garage will not be done, that's the only thing we'll have to do in the future. is the
And the
garage.
future garage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mikey turns 20 years old now. He can do it.
And the next item is our resident service coordinator, which is, she's here today. This is Jackie. Hi. And so far, it's been really good. We've started bingo. We had bingo. We had how many people in here, Steve? Actually?
Probably about 10 people.
10 people. This is another event she's added on, which we're really excited about, and the board is actually welcome to come. It's a $6 charge, but we have music by Ray Nault. It's going to be at 4 p.m. on Tuesday, August 24th. We have a hot dog company coming from Somerset, so you'll be able to pick your hot dog if you just want the works. You can pick out whatever you want in hot dogs. She's going to be making everybody's hot dogs in the field. And then we're also going to have a station where anybody can make their own sundaes. So they'll have ice cream, hot dogs, and music all up here in the field. So it should be nice. You know what? The only thing we should add to this is to bring your chairs.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And the drinks?
Everybody gets 2 hot dogs, a bag of chips, and a soda for $6.
The soda, they have a soda. Yeah, but like that. I don't know if they have drinks. Yeah.
Yes.
If you want water, drink water.
So she
She may have water. I'm not.
I'm joking.
would you like to speak on a couple of other things that you have going on, or?
Oh, we also have coming up in the beginning of September, we're gonna have a K-9 unit demonstration where the police captain's gonna come down. They're gonna do a demo as to what the dogs can do. We're doing different suppers that will come along, maybe like a spaghetti supper type thing. Board and card game events, just different things throughout weekly so that they can get out of their apartments, have some little community time. And we seem to be, it's only been a couple events, but we're having a lot of fun and people seem to be enjoying it.
You guys have a painting.
Oh, yeah, we have a paint night.
They have a paint night. They have a paint night here also.
Yeah, where they can all make their own pictures.
So far it seems to be, successful, and I'm sure we'll even get even better as the time goes on.
Welcome and good luck.
Thank you.
You got a
I
question?
just want to say Jackie's doing a very good job.
All right, that's what we want to hear.
Good to hear. Thank you.
So, office report, basically we've just been doing our regular office, things around the office. Tonight I've been taking more classes on Champ, trying to learn the system for Champ better. So we're trying to just update all of our classes. We do have a seminar, we have, DHCD is having their yearly conference, and the two of us are going, so we're gonna be out of the office for 2 days. That's in September. So we'll be taking a lot of classes there. Also, might be there for 1 day, depending if you can get there. And just so we can bring some more new ideas back. So that's, I believe, September 20th, the weekend of the 20th to 23rd. But yeah, it starts on Sunday, but yeah, so it's actually the 20th. Yeah, the 22nd. So we'll definitely be attending the conference, so. And that's it. As far as construction, hopefully the electrical project will be done soon. That's up in the air. And hopefully, like I said, the vinyl siding project will be starting Monday.
The electric system include the alarms?
The electrical project was the alarms and the emergency lighting in the hallways.
Oh, okay.
So that way, if we do lose power, they will have the emergency lighting.
Oh, okay.
But I do ask the board if we can meet next Wednesday. Our year end supposedly will be finished by Friday, and that has to be approved by the end of August. There's some reports in there, the top 5 salaries and everything that need to be approved before we can finish our year end. Also, with the change on the electrical project, we're going to need to vote, once the price comes in, the board, we can go ahead and change it. I don't think the money's going to come from us, it should come from the project, because they do leave like $20-some thousand in there just in case there is changes. So as long as DHCD approves it, it should be paid for within that specific project. So that would definitely be next Wednesday. The apartment status, right now we have, one that we're working on, we have 2. One we're working on renting, we should have it rented within the next 10 days. The packets run out, we're just waiting for the 10 days to see who sends their packets back. We have one come up at the end of the month, it's paid for until September 1st, so we're going to be working on that to get that rented right away.
Any tenant comments today?
No, I just have 2 questions. Do we have any money in our budgets for, we're going to have the sidings put in? And as you well know, the sidings get dirty and have to be washed with a hose. Are we going to have any type of money in the budget for that?
You mean like as the years go on, or?
Yes.
Yeah, oh yeah, and we have the ability to, maintenance can wash it too, we have the ability to wash it.
And you're paying back that?
Yeah.
The other question is going to be any involvement with the porches when we get this started?
The back porches, yes, the doors are gonna be, replaced, so things are gonna have to be moved. And it's funny you bring that up, because, we were gonna ask the board, as soon as the vinyl siding project is done, to come up with a really strict porch policy. If you walk around the porches, people have tables, chairs, boxes, trash barrels, and basically in the policy it states they can only have 1 fold-up chair. And that's how it should be, because those porches are emergency exits. We've sent out letters in the past, we've asked people to move stuff in the past, and I mean, it's hard because they don't have any storage, but it can't really be used as a storage area, because in worst case scenario, if there's a fire, they need to exit safely. So once the vinyl siding project is done, I was going to have the fire chief come, walk around with the board, and try to be more strict on 1 fold-up chair in the porches.
I have something to say about that man over there. It's we can ask for better one. Yesterday morning, I told him about the door on the back porch. No time, he fixed it.
There we go. There we go. He didn't charge you much.
Good man, we asked for something,
Once the big construction is done, I am definitely going to stop pulling out all the policies. The policies are old, and a lot of them need to be redone. And to see if things have changed, yes.
Sounds like maybe we need to enforce them more than rewrite them.
Absolutely.
Could I have a motion to accept the director's report?
Motion to accept the director's report.
Second motion? Aye.
How about the maintenance report?
Nothing big, exciting here, just the normal maintenance, like I said, started work on the gazebo, just doing normal stuff, nothing major.
Fixing those.
Fixing doors.
Yeah.
We have motion to accept the maintenance report.
Motion to accept.
Anyway.
Aye.
Okay, now we have 2 dates on the next week, right? We have a meeting next week, you said?
You know what, can anybody do a Tuesday, because I actually, took some time off next week. Tuesday's better, Wednesday's my. Yeah, that comes out. So how about Tuesday, is there a time you guys can do? We can do it in the morning, get it done? Looks good for you.
Anything's fine, but if it's gonna be a 10-minute meeting, like right at 11:30 before lunch is fine, but if that doesn't work. then-
Yep, that Tuesday, 11:30 is perfect.
So what time is that be?
11:30 on Tuesday.
Tuesday, Tuesday will be
The 24th, yeah.
24th. I don't know, but, in my attention.
Okay,
It should be quick.
the subject one.
We can wait.
The 15th at 11 o'clock on September.
Are you gonna have enough business happening with it? To have a meeting that soon after?
Well, we may, I hate to not do it for the signing project, if there's any changes,
Yes.
keep it on there, if worse comes to us, I don't have anything, I can let the
It's
board
easier to
know.
cancel than repost.
Yeah, yeah.
The date in September? 15th,
Any
September
other
15th.
business? If not,
No.
a motion to adjourn.
You got something?
Yeah, I just wondered if sometime in the future, if there's going to be some place that people can put things, our apartments are too small to keep things in.
Well, we do have a closet space, and everybody can have 2 storage bins and air conditioner.
It's not having nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, you can't, I mean, we don't have storage for tenants, no one
You're
do.
making the rules so strict.
But the thing is I'm not making rules as strict.
No.
Those are the original rules when I came here as a director, nobody was following them. But that is an emergency exit, so it's been from day one that you can't keep anything out there. And it makes sense, because if there's a fire and somebody trips or somebody gets hurt, they need to get out of their apartments. So, I mean, I don't, not many houses have storage units for their
And also,
tenants.
that's what's getting into.
Oh, yeah?
And
So it's okay?
yeah.
So I don't know, but I mean, I know there's a lot of places that have storage units that people can rent or, you
Yeah, but
know.
you know how much they cost now?
Yeah.
It's like, I wish I wish I could build some, we don't even have enough storage for our own stuff.
Yeah,
We have
I tried.
attic full, garage full.
They ask now because the coronavirus, $120 for a small room.
The nature of public housing doesn't really call for having a lot of storage.
Maybe a chair,
Yeah, it's,
you know,
Oh, you have,
folding, you
you
can't.
can have a fold-up chair.
A folding chair.
Yes, you can, that's no problem, you can have a chair that folds up.
maybe that policy could be looked at to say, you know, there is room for 2 folding chairs or 1 chair that doesn't fold if there's,
Yeah.
but you can't block the entrance.
You get 2 people using the same unit, so.
But the thing is, you shouldn't, I wouldn't store anything out there because of the fact that it's not weatherproof, mice can get in there. It's not, the back porch is not a true storage unit, it's open to the weather.
It's supposed to be, you get out there and get some fresh air.
Exactly,
Right.
so,
I understand that, but again, it's like you said, it has to be folding chair.
yes, yep. And that, like I said, those were the rules that were made before I even came to work here.
No, I'm not, I know there's rules.
Yeah.
But
That's it.
If you walk through the back of the unit, you'll find people have full tables. You'll find people that have an abundance of bins or trash barrels and,
I watch it.
yeah, so,
Something else, I agree.
yeah. And honestly, it doesn't look nice when you walk back there either, so.
That's it?
That's it.
We have a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
All in favor?
Next, if we could build a storage